I'm going to be revealing 5 of the most scariest moments for me in Resident Evil 4 Remake. Let's get into it. So let me tell you about my experience with a Gyarados fight. I have to say, I was expecting it to be much scarier than it actually was. When I first entered the room, I could see the Gyarados at all times and it was blind, so I didn't really feel that scared. The fact that we were in a small enclosed space also made it easier for me to keep track of the enemy's movements, so I wasn't really on the edge like I thought I would be. But that's not to say the Gyarados fight was a walk in the park. The boss itself definitely was intimidating, with all those contraptions attached to its eyes, making it look like some sort of twisted experiment. The Gyarados' appearance alone was enough to make me feel uneasy. Even though the level itself wasn't particularly scary, the Gyarados' appearance definitely made up for it. The way it moved and attacked was also quite unnerving. It was almost like it could sense every move, even though it was blind. All in all, I have to say that while the Gyarados fight wasn't as scary as I thought it would be, it was still an intense and memorable experience. The Gyarados' appearance alone was enough to make it on this list. When it comes to Ashley's section in the game, it's supposed to be scary, but honestly, it's not really that frightening. I think the main reason for that is the enemies themselves. They're just these little tin cans with parasites inside, and they're pretty stupid. If they were more intelligent and powerful, it would be a lot scarier. However, the only reason this part made it on the list of scary game experiences is because Ashley is defenseless and alone in the dark. Even though the enemies are not that menacing, it's still unsettling because she is not as capable as Leon. There was one part though where I got startled, and that was when I passed the first tin can, the second one popped out unexpectedly. Roaming around in the dark as defenseless Ashley against these semi-threatening enemies was enough to make it on this list. Playing through the encounters with Jack Krauser were surprisingly intense and nerve-wracking. The one-on-one fights weren't meant to be scary, but the moments when you had to navigate through the tunnels after him was like a game of cat and mouse. Each corner felt like a potential trap that you had to avoid at all costs. Sometimes he would pop out of nowhere and attack you from behind and then disappear with a smoke bomb. Those moments definitely kept me on edge and made me more cautious. The scariest part though is when he reached his final form and I dropped into a pitch black tunnel. I had to find my way out while he attacked me from above. It was low-key scary, I have to admit, but that was the only part that really scared me. The final showdown with Krauser wasn't scary at all. Walking into the dark underground sewer and hearing the heavy footsteps above me sent shivers down my spine. At first, I thought the steps were coming from behind me, so I kept turning around to check, and every time I did, I got attacked from above. And when you have to press the button to release the liquid nitrogen and then lure Vertigo into the liquid nitrogen was the worst. The sound of Vertigo's footsteps and its shadowy figure in the distance charging at you as you try to get away had me on the edge the entire time. And to make matters worse, I had to wait for the elevator to reach the sewer level while being pursued by Vertigo. The suspense was almost too much to handle. When the elevator finally arrived, I didn't even think twice about the boss. I just wanted to escape, so I sprinted towards the elevator. The first time I faced the regenerator in Resident Evil 4, man, it was terrifying. Before even reaching its location, a Ganado on fire popped out of the fridge and charged at me, scaring the crap out of me. When I finally entered the area with the regenerator, I could hear it before I could see it. The sound of its movements echoed through the halls, making my heart race. The environment was pitch black, and I had to rely on the limited light from my flashlight to navigate through the area. Every turn I made felt like a potential trap, and I was constantly on edge, waiting for the creature to strike. Solving puzzles, all the while hearing creepy whispering noises surrounding me in the dark. I felt like a scared little kid trying to unlock a door with shaky hands. When I finally came across the regenerator, it only got worse. I quickly realized that I was wasting ammo on this creature as it regenerated its limbs and never seemed to die, or so I thought. It was a complete nightmare. In conclusion, the first encounter with the regenerator in Resident Evil 4 Remake was a harrowing experience that left me feeling scared. The atmosphere, the sound effects, the puzzles in the area all contributed to the fear, and the regenerator itself was a formidable foe that seemed unbeatable.